Yo, what's up guys, I'm back on a review here. This time we have this 90 Garrincha. Now, this team isn't really the team I use with him. I'm just using it for a fill of chemistry because I'm trying to get rid of all my coins ready for tomorrow's promo. This video will probably be coming out tonight. So, 90 Garrincha, for me, I played him at the back end of actual FUT champs. And then I played him in the qualifiers as well, which I went 5-0 in. So in the stats then, so he's got 9 games, 9 goals, 4 assists. So on actual stats then, so he's got 5'7" height, medium low work rates. He's right footed with 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. He's got 90 pace, 83 shooting, 88 passing, 93 dribbling, and 67 physical. So on paper, looks like quite a good card. In the games I played with him, I played with him at striker and cam, so I could get like a proper representation of the card. I only use Hunter on it because I feel like that's the recommended chem style. But I'll speak more about that on the positive negatives. So if you enjoy the clips, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you after. Peace. So, on to positive and negative about the card then. Now, first for me is the 5-star skills. Now this, like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people watch this because they're very meta sweats like me. I know it's really a bad term to use for them, but like it is. So this is like people like Elite Division that will just want to use abuse 5-star skills on a good icon. It's obviously Brazilian. It's quite cheap to be fair for this like kind of caliper of icon. So the 5-star skill is really good to be fair. Just allows me to be very nimble in and around the box, get the skills off, get the elasticos off and stuff like that. Just to make sure you can actually get into the box like without Varane just pressing you. Now, next up for me is an obvious one, is the pace. Now, the pace for me felt really good in game. Not Vinicius level pace, but considering he's 5'7", he did feel really fast in game, so that was nice. I did enjoy that. Now, next for me is going to be the attack position, the finishing, and the shot power. Now, all of these felt really good in game. The shot power, it doesn't feel that low, to be fair. Considering he's got similar to Neymar kind of thing, it felt a lot better, I would say. The shot power felt really quite good. I didn't really have any faults with it at all. Now, next up for me is his general passing. Now, this is actually really good in game. All these stats really nice. You could probably play him cam because of this. The vision, the short pass, long pass, really good. The crossing's even good. Even the free kick accuracy is good, and the curve's good. They're like all good stats, but like quite average stats. Now, next up for me, I'm going to go with the agility. Now, this is really nice, to be fair. Just allows to be very swift on the ball, especially with those 5-star skills. Just very nimble and agile. And this card, right, is a very final third kind of player. Like, you definitely need to, like, to optimize him, either get him running through wide or get him in around the box, just get him near that goal and then get some skills off with him and then get that finish off, because he's very, very good at that. Very swift on the ball, very agile, very nimble. So I was talking about the agility and with the dribbling stats. So the both of these, especially that dribbling stat, really crazy base. 95 base is one of the best in the game, especially with the 5-star skills. Just goes up pairs really, really nicely. Just allows him to be very swift and nimble, just to get into the box. Now, next up for me is one of my key aspects. I know it's a bit of a weird one, but ball control is very, very nice for him. Especially this year since I used the R1X pass, which is a driven pass. You definitely need to do that in the higher divisions. But the ball control really good. He didn't really put many touches wrong, and especially when I'm trying to play like 1-2 close, like, because I have rush and that, they're not really the best of icons. Garrincha needs to do a lot of the work, and he will do that like most of the time. Like, he's one of those icons that can go solo, can go in a team. He's very versatile. Now, next up for me is the composure. Now, generally speaking, I didn't really miss many chances with Garrincha. He missed like 1 or 2, I think it was. But overall, he's a very, very in-the-box, very deadly finisher. I wouldn't really recommend you outside the boxing because he's got a few stats here and there for that. But the composure, very, very nice to be fair. Now, last for me is going to be stamina. Now, this I actually didn't really have a problem with at all, especially at striker. Maybe a cam who'll die out after the 90 minutes. Let's say you're playing champs, so in rivals it won't matter at all. The stamina's perfectly fine, but in champs you might die after 90 minutes. It's playing cam, so just be careful of that. But that's all from the positives. Now let's go to the negatives. So on to negatives. Now, I normally go into Footbin to check like how good a card is and stuff like that, to see like if people are liking the card or not. So I went on Footbin, checked the Garrincha reviews, and there's only one, and I was looking at the negative side of things to see what is actually bad about the card before I did this review, and they generally said just nothing but the stamina. But I do think there's a few things here and there that I feel like I need to pick holes in more than that, because I feel like there is a few aspects that's a little bit worse for that. So, first for me is the long shots. Now, the long shots for him, I wouldn't really recommend you taking any with him. Even if you green it, it's probably not going to go in because it's a little bit lower than what you'd want. I'll say anything above 85 and you probably got a good chance of it going in, but 78 is not really going to have any opportunity with that. Now, the volleys for me, it didn't really feel the best. I think he had one volley and it didn't go in, but overall, they're not bad, not amazing, just quite average stats. The finishes definitely boost that quite high, but just don't really try on it. The next up for me is the air ability. Now, since he's 5'7", and with that air ability, he's useless in the air, very, very useless. So just be careful of that. Now, the stamina, I know I touched on the positive side, which it is. For a striker, he's definitely... so it all depends on where you play him. So the positive side of the stamina is obviously a striker, but a cam, as I just said, you need to be very wary of this. I feel like anything 85 or below cam, he will get tired out. Because his work rates, I don't feel like it'll matter, but I've just put it in there just in case. Let's say like he gets tired on the 90th, and you're like, why is that? Well, he has got a little bit low stamina, but the work rate shouldn't, like medium low, he shouldn't get back at all, so he shouldn't really like die out that much. Now, this is what I'm going to touch on most. I feel like it is one of Garrincha's worst aspects. Now, it doesn't really matter as long as you hold the ball on his feet and close to him and get those passes across with his good passing. The strength's quite bad, considering he's 5'7", he will get pushed around quite a bit. Like, it's cards like, I'd say Maradona and Puskas that don't actually feel as weak as they are, but this card kind of feels a little bit weak here and there, so that's a little bit frustrating. So that kind of knocks down the balance a bit. I'm not going to put the balance in the negative, but that is because, so let's just say sometimes like you're getting pushed in the back, the strength will then counter the balance, and then he won't be able to get the shot off because of it. So you'll see why when like Varane's pushing him or something like that. But generally speaking, that's all from the negatives. I could pick holes saying I think he should have the finesse shot trait and the outside the foot shot trait. So lack of traits, that is. I just feel like he could have a bit more, but obviously it's just how he played in real life, so you can't really ask for that. But the curve, generally speaking, is quite decent. But if you have finesse shot trait, I reckon he would be like one of the top. He already is one of the top strikers in the game, but like I would say like top. I would say probably top 5. I don't reckon he is right now, but generally speaking, he is very good still. So on to overall scores then. So first for me is the pace. Now the pace for me, I did feel that was quite good in the game. Not like Vinicius level, but very, very fast and he will burst through. So I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. If you use the L1 trigger of the runs, he's very, very good at getting through and like bursting through. And then you give the like L1 R1 triangle pass, which is like a very like accurate through ball pass this year. That's a lot of things I've said this year. Like the L1 R1 X is the driven pass, the L1 to trigger the runs, and then L1 R1 triangle to make it like a directional kind of through ball thing to like get it straight to their feet, which is really, really nice over the top. So all of them really good and really effective this year, so you should do them a lot. But as I said, 9 out of 10 for the pace, very good overall. Now, the shooting for me, it doesn't look that good on stats, to be fair, but overall, actually, in-game, it's very deadly, to be fair. It didn't really miss much for me, so I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. I do really think it's that good. I know it doesn't really look the best, and 83 shooting, you're probably like, oh, but actually, it's really nice in-game. Now, the passing for me, I didn't really have many flaws to it, to be fair. So again, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. Obviously, there's a lot like to be worked on there, but generally speaking, it's like there's nothing to flaw about it. It's just very average, can I say? For an well, it's not average, but like it's very average for an icon, should I say? Now the dribbling for me is one of his key aspects. Now the dribbling, so you got the agility that's really good, the ball shot's really good, composure's good, the dribbling stats amazing, reaction's really good, and the balance, as I was talking about on the negative side, kind of gets counteracted a bit. But overall, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I do really think he's one of those cards that are very swift on the ball, very nice. Especially like paired up with those 5-star skills, he's just really got it all with that. I don't think you can really like fault that. Now, last for me is the physical. Now, the physical, he's got bad jumping. Stamina is decent depending on where you play him. The strength is not very good and the aggression is not very good, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Now, I was just about to say it's like quite fair, but what I'm going to say now is you're probably wondering where I would recommend you playing him. So I would recommend you playing him probably at striker. I feel like he's more suited for that role, and then you can have like I would say maybe a better passer behind him, and then have him like slot through or something like that, use his pace and then use his skills as well. But if you really needed to, you could play him cam because his passing stats are perfectly good enough. But as I was talking about the 6 out of 10 for physical, I think that's perfectly fair. So, value for coins then. Now, this card's coming out at around 930k. Do I think it's worth that? Honestly, yeah, I do. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 value for coins. I know it's a lot, and it's quite dear for a lot of people, especially since what time of year we're at. But generally speaking, if you've got like a meta team with like, I don't know, Mbappe, Garrincha, Neymar, whatever, you name it, Vinicius, and you've got like a spare mil to spend on a card that you really want to use, this Garrincha is very, very good. I do recommend you him. He's a very deadly attacker. So overall score for me then, I'm going to give it a 9.1. I do really enjoy the card, to be fair. I feel like he will be good for the whole year. Not as good as like people like Pele and stuff like that, but generally speaking, he's a very solid card. But that's all for my review. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit thousands by the end of the year, so if you can help me towards that, I really appreciate it. But I've got nothing more to say, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out. See you on the next one.